Toronto FC turned one of the team's most horrific first halves into one of its best comebacks. But Captain Michael Bradley certainly wasn't celebrating after a crazy night at BMO Field. Toronto FC score 4 goals in the second half to complete the comeback and draw 4-4 with DC United on Wednesday evening. Nick Hagglund, with a pair, Jonathan Osorio, and Victor Vasquez all scored second-half goals to erase a 3-0 deficit in a roller-coaster 4-4 draw against DC United on Wednesday. "In the first half we were so poor," said a smoldering Bradley. "The second half is a decent response, but these are games we should win." Yamil Asad scored twice, while Paul Arriola and Darren Mattocks had one apiece for United 2-6-4, who were last in the Eastern Conference. Article continued below. For 45 minutes, Toronto FC 4-7-3, which had lost just one of its previous 4 matches, looked nothing like an MLS Cup champion in front of a disgruntled crowd of 23,011 fans, disorganized on defense and out of sync on offense. "I'm not sure there's one emotion, there's 1,000, Bradley said. "We have to recharge mentally, physically, during the World Cup break, and look at ourselves in a real, honest way and make sure that, in the second half of the season we rediscover a little bit of life and energy and enthusiasm." It's been a long season so far, we've played a lot of games, we've traveled a lot. It doesn't seem like June. So many makeshift lineups, so many days when you're just trying to scrounge anything together to come away with points. That wears on you in a big way." Assad started United scoring onslaught in the 12th minute, finishing a string of a dozen DC United tic-tac-toe passes that sliced through Toronto's jumbled defense. Arriola doubled the visitors' lead 5 minutes later on a counterattack. Toronto FC was pleading for a penalty after Osorio went down in the box. United, meanwhile, was racing the other way. Arriola headed in a cross from Zoltan Stever, and then put a finger to his lips to shush the BMO Field crowd, an unnecessary gesture, as the crowd was already sitting in stunned silence. Toronto FC forward Sebastian Giovinco battles for control of the ball with DC United forward Paul Arriola during a disappointing first half at BMO Field. The Reds were down 3-0 at the break. Frank Gunn, the Canadian press. Mattocks scored in the 45th minute on a horrible defensive breakdown by Toronto. Eric Zavaleta was about to clear the ball when he had it stolen from behind, and Mattocks beat a Bradley tackle attempt to score from close in. Playing their first game on the pristine new grass at BMO Field, the Reds walked off the pitch at halftime to a chorus of boos. Article continued below. "We've got a lot of things to be worrying about right now, and that doesn't come in real high on the list," Bradley said. "We need our fan support in a big way, even more so right now when things are difficult." Toronto coach Greg Vanney said he kept his cool during halftime. "For me today wasn't a day where I felt like they needed a bollocking or yelling at," he said. "I felt like they needed a clear plan, a little push to believe they could this. We needed to be confident, we needed to be aggressive, we needed to play without fear, play without concern of losing a pass, but to play aggressive, to play forward, to go for it," his team responded. Osorio got Toronto on the scoreboard finally in the 54th minute when he connected on a cross from Ryan Telfer just inside the 18-yard box. Vasquez injected more hope in the 64th minute, when Sebastian Giovinco's shot banged off the crossbar and fell virtually at his feet. Vasquez one-timed it for an easy goal. Then Hagglund tied it up in the 86th minute, racing up from the back line to connect on a cross from Justin Morrow. Assad scored what looked to be the dagger in the 90th minute, when Patrick Mullins found him unmarked in front of the net. On a night that was a scorekeeper's worst nightmare, Haglund tied it again seconds later when he connected on a cross from Osorio. 5 minutes left in the game. Greg says, abandoned center back, head forward, so just got in the box and waited for some great balls, Haglund said. Toronto had a couple of chances in the game's early minutes. Vasquez just missed on a shot from close in, then a minute later a United defender knocked the ball onto the foot of a non-rushing Nicolas Hasslier, who recently returned from injury. United's keeper David Ousted stretched and just got his fingertips on the ball to push it out of harm's way. Vanni partly blamed the weather for Toronto's disastrous first half, saying, "We didn't really set up the team to play against a pretty strong wind." United, meanwhile, has now played 10 of their last 12 games on the road with their new stadium, Audi Field, set to open July 14.